me, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you already haven't. And if you know someone that may be interested in this type of content, send this video to them and tell them to subscribe and join the channel. So if I look like my previous video, it's because I'm recording 2 videos in one day, and I'm trying to get this content out for you guys because I know you guys been awaiting my videos. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, I'm trying to get this content out while my kids are asleep, so I won't have any disruptions. So yes, let's get into today's video. I don't have a first comment winner yet, but I will eventually insert it in my video once I get one for this video. So today's video, as you can see by the title, we are going to be talking about 5 missing person cases that will freak you out. And y'all, like, unfortunately, these people have not been found yet. I'm gonna say yet because we're still gonna have hope that these people are somehow found and come home safe to their family. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Sit back, relax, grab a snack, and enjoy today's video. I'm not gonna say enjoy some crime time just because we don't know if a crime has been committed, because unfortunately, nothing has been found on these people. So let's go ahead and get into today's video. Shout out to my first comment winner, Lisa Jet. Thank you so much for being the first comment winner. If any of you would like to be the first comment winner, please comment down below, being the first one to comment, and you can be featured in one of my future uploads. Warning, this video may contain details of graphic content. This channel is for mature audiences only. Some viewers might find this disturbing. On the morning of December 6, 1992, a group of 4 people, 29-year-old Nancy Branch, her husband, 31-year-old Kevin Clark, 29-year-old Alan Stewart, and his wife, 31-year-old Amy Axton, boarded a single-engine Piper Archer airplane for a weekend vacation to Santa Barbara. But unfortunately, that would never happen. The plane was for the group to fly from Santa Barbara Airport to Palo Alto. One of the couples wanted to get back to purchase a Christmas tree. Despite the hazardous weather conditions that day, the plane was cleared for takeoff and was set to arrive at Santa Barbara Airport by noon. 8 minutes after the plane took off, all communications stopped. The pilots never communicated if anything was wrong. 30 years later, the plane and its occupants have never been heard from or seen again. It's as if the plane vanished in thin air. An extensive search took place that included the Coast Guard, but nothing was found. They received a tip that the plane had crashed near the Big Basin area, but no evidence of that happening was ever found. There have been rumors that the plane crashed and all of the occupants are deceased, but that has never been confirmed. All of the occupants, including the pilot, are still listed as missing due to no remains or evidence of a crash have not been discovered. 11-year-old Christine Denise James was a 6th grader at Wildwood Middle School between 1979 and 1980 at the time of her disappearance. Before her disappearance, Christine had a troubled childhood. addicted to narcotics, and her teenage cousin Robert Jackson Jr., and her uncle, whose name has never been revealed, was inappropriately touching her. In May of 1979, 17-year-old Robert Jackson Jr. was stabbed to death after he forced his way into Christine's aunt's house and beat Christine while she was babysitting. Christine admitted to stabbing Robert, but according to Christine's sister, their mother actually committed the killing. Due to admitting to killing Robert, Christine was sent to a juvenile detention center for several months. She was released several days before her disappearance. Sometime in June, Christine James disappeared. According to a friend, Christine told her she was pregnant with twins and she was going to run away from home and never come back. Unfortunately, no one reported her missing. February 13th, 2000 was a semi-normal day for 9-year-old Asha Degree. Asha and her brother O'Brien, who was 10 years old at the time, visited a relative's house after church. Around 8 p.m., Asha and O'Brien went to bed. An hour later, their power went out due to a nearby car crash. Around midnight, the power came back, and Asha's dad, named Harold, checked on both of his children, who were sound asleep in their beds. Before he went to bed, he checked on them around 2:30 a.m., and once again, they were sound asleep. On the morning of February 14th, 2000, so the next morning, was an important day to Asha's mother, Aquila. Not only was it Valentine's Day, it was Aquila's and Harold's wedding anniversary. Like any other morning, Aquila went to her children's room in an attempt to wake them up for school, but quickly discovered Asha was not in her bed. Aquila informed Harold. They checked Asha's grandmother's house, who lived just across the street from them, but they had no luck. Aquila went into panic mode and called the police. By 7 a.m., police and cadaver dogs were on the scene searching for Asha. Friends, family, and neighbors also assisted with the search. 2 witnesses had come forward stating they seen Asha walking south along Highway 18 between the times of 3:45 a.m. and 4:15 a.m. She was spotted wearing a long-sleeve white shirt and white pants. The witness stated he turned his car around because it was very odd that a child that young would be walking alone during that hour. The witness stated that by the time he turned around, he saw Asha run into the woods and she disappeared. 2 days after Asha's disappearance, Aquila noticed that Asha was missing her favorite pair of jeans, which would have been blue jeans with a red stripe. Missing flyers had been posted all around, and 300 tips poured in with sightings of Asha, but none checked out. February 15th, just one day after her disappearance, a family named the Turners found several items in their storage shed. The items included candy wrappers, a pencil, marker, a Mickey Mouse bow, and a picture of an unidentified little girl. Their storage shed was located at the end of a long dirt driveway close to Asha's last known location. Investigators believe when Asha ran away from the witness that spotted her, the Turner's shed is where she ran to and somehow left or dropped her belongings in the midst of it. Oddly enough, the Turner family stated their family dogs usually barked when a stranger was nearby. Both the FBI and the North Carolina's State Bureau of Investigation got involved in the search of Asha. The county sheriff urged the media to keep the story alive. Investigators believe that Asha had planned to run away from her family. They believe that based on the things that Aquila were telling them. They believe that Asha was running away but somehow got off track or was abducted. In August of 2001, a year after her disappearance, a construction worker discovered Asha's book bag. It was double wrapped in plastic bags on the ground off Highway 18 in Burke County. Law enforcement stated that 99% of the items were hers, but the graphic "New Kids on the Block" t-shirt was not hers. The next piece of information did not come until 2004, when an inmate confessed that Asha had been killed and knew where she was buried. Investigators followed up on this information, even went to the burial site, and they did find some remains, but it turned out to be animal remains. In 2013, Aquila sat down for an interview with Jet magazine to bring awareness to her daughter's disappearance. She stated, quote, "Missing white children get more attention. I don't understand why. I know if you ask them, they will say it's not racial. Oh, really? I'm not going to argue because I have common sense," end quote. In February of 2015, the FBI announced they were re-examining the case and re-interviewing witnesses. They announced a reward of $25,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or people responsible for her disappearance. An additional $20,000 reward was added by a community group. In May of 2016, a possible lead was turned up. Someone may have spotted Asha getting into a dark green early 1970s Lincoln Continental mark, or possibly a Ford Thunderbird. The car was spotted along Route 18, where she was last seen in 2000. In October 2018, investigators reintroduced the two vital items in this case, the Dr. Seuss book and the New Kids on the Block t-shirt, to see if it could jog anyone's memory. In November 2020, an inmate named Marcus Mellon wrote a letter to the Shelby Star claiming that Asha was murdered and he knows where she is located. In February, it was determined that Tip was another dead end. Today, Asha would be 32 years old. Her family is not giving up hope that they will one day see her again. In 2020, Asha's mother stated, quote, "After 20 years, I still believe my daughter is alive. I do not believe she is dead. And I know someone knows something. I'm not crazy enough to think that a 9-year-old can disappear into thin air without somebody knowing something," end quote. Asha's parents organize an annual walk every year on February 14th, which is the day she went missing. The walk started from their house where Asha disappeared to the missing persons billboard, which is the possible same path Asha took down North Carolina 18. Asha's mother came to the realization that February 14th is Valentine's Day, and she felt guilty for hosting the walk on the holiday that is built on love. She stated, quote, "We can walk any day of this month as long as our goal is to keep her name out," end quote. The walk was changed to February 7th in 2015 and changed again to February February 6 in 2016. Christopher Milton Dansby was born on March 30th, 1987. His nickname was Choo-Choo. I'm assuming for his love of choo-choo trains. On May 18th, 1989, 2-year-old Christopher Dansby and his brother Lavon were taken to the playground by their mother, Allison Dansby. The playground was located in Harlem, New York City at Martin Luther King Jr. Towers Building 1 at 114th Street and Lenox Avenue. Allison left Christopher and Lavon under the supervision of her mom, which is their grandmother, while Allison went to grab a bite to eat. When she returned 30 minutes later, Christopher was gone. Christopher's grandmother took her eyes off of her grandson for 1 second. When Christopher's brother Lavon was questioned, he stated, quote, "We was playing and Choo-Choo got lost. I didn't see him. I called my mommy," end quote. That night, police searched all 10 floors of the King Tower building. They went door to door asking questions. When dark came, they decided to resume the search the following day, this time with cadaver dogs and a scuba team. The scuba team searched a shallow pond at the north end of Central Park, but Christopher was not found. On May 19th, 1989, the day after his disappearance, Christopher's cousin named Elton claimed that he spotted Christopher walking with an unidentified man. He claims that Christopher was wearing the same clothes as the previous day and was walking with a dark-skinned man with a mustache. Once Elton saw this, he ran to tell someone and they called the police. When police arrived with cadaver dogs, they were unable to pick up on Christopher's scent and found nothing. On May 22nd, police released a composite sketch of the man that was spotted walking with Christopher. The man was described as African American, between the ages of 25 and 30 years old, who was approximately 6 feet tall, clean shaven with a mustache, a large pink scar on the right side of his face, and he had dreadlocks. When Choo-Choo disappeared, he was 2 years old and was wearing a blue jacket over a floral print shirt, blue jeans, and green and white sneakers. Choo-Choo was 2 feet 6 inches and weighing approximately 30 pounds. He had black hair, brown eyes, and a birthmark on his neck that is shaped like a figure 8. Christopher Choo-Choo Dansby is still missing to this day. His mother, Allison, has never stopped looking for him. She stated, quote, "All this time has gone by as the 2-year-old boy he was, not the 32-year-old man he would be. It has been a long, hard process. All this time has gone by and there is still no closure. It's just not okay. One of my kids is missing and I still don't know what happened," end quote. Christopher would be turning 36 years old on March 30th, 2023. Shane Anthony Walker was born on December 7th, 1987 in New York, New York. He was a quiet baby. He loved teddy bears and monkeys. Rosa Glover was 35 years old at this time and thought she was unable to get pregnant until she became pregnant with Shane. She called him her, quote, "special boy," end quote. On August 10th, 1989, Shane's mother, Rosa Glover took her son to the same playground as Christopher, which was located at the Martin Luther King Jr. Towers in Harlem. Shane and Rosa were sitting on the bench when two young children asked if they could play with Shane. At this time, Shane was 18 months old, so Rosa thought it was odd that these older children wanted to play with an 18-month-old child and proceeded to allow them to play with Shane. While Shane began playing, a random man sat beside Rosa and struck up a conversation about recent child abductions in the area. The man began showing Rosa his scars he had received in fights he had gotten into. Rosa realized Shane was no longer in her sight and began frantically searching for her son, and eventually filed a missing persons report at 6:30 p.m. When police got there, they questioned the two children that were playing with Shane and spoke to the man that held a conversation with Rosa. Police quickly categorized this case along with Christopher Dansby, who disappeared from the same park 3 months earlier and lived in the exact same apartment complex with his mother. There were several similarities with both cases. They even vanished on the same weekday, which was a Thursday, 2 hours apart from one another. Could they have possibly been abducted by the same perpetrator? 31 years later, age progression photos have been used to show what the children may have grown up to look like now. There have been some theories floating around that Shane was taken to replace Christopher because Christopher had a hard time adjusting without his biological mother present. Another theory is that the toddlers were taken as part of an abduction ring. That same year, a 1-month-old baby named Andre Bryant was abducted and never seen again. Andre's mom's body was found discarded on the side of the road. And the last theory is the children that were seen playing with the boys could have been possible victims themselves. The brother and sister could have possibly been used to lure in younger children. In 2020, it was reported that both parents, Rosa and Allison, have submitted their DNA to genetic databases. So anyone that looks like Christopher or Shane can submit their DNA to see if it is a match to their mothers. As of today, both boys, who are now adults, have never been found. Both of their mothers are not giving up hope that one day they will see their beautiful boys again. In 2014, Rosa Glover sat down to do an interview with ABC 7, stating, quote, "Not a day goes by that it doesn't hold me. Wherever he is, when I find him, we are going away. I am leaving New York City and we are going somewhere, just the two of us."